Well, 12s, it's here. They made it to the big dance. The Seahawks beat the LA Rams to go face the Patriots in the Super Bowl. We'll talk about that and more on this next episode of the 12th Inning Podcast. How's it going, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the 12th Inning Podcast. I'm so glad that we get to make this episode. Your Seattle Seahawks are going to the Super Bowl. They beat the LA Rams in the NFC Championship at home, and they're going to go face the Patriots. It's a Super Bowl rematch, and oh my gosh, like I said, I can't even believe that we're here. Mitch, how are we feeling about this game, man?
Oh, not nearly as stressed as I was for the Rams game. Pretty confident going into this one.
Yeah. I feel definitely, oddly enough, more confident going into the Super Bowl than I do going into the NFC Championship, like you just said, because the Rams were formidable. Now, that is not a knock on the Patriots. They earned their way to the Super Bowl for good reason. Drake May is great. That defense is pretty solid. Like, this team is very well coached, and that can make a big difference, especially in a Super Bowl. But I think I said it last week, whoever comes out of the NFC Championship should be the favorites to win the Super Bowl. And that is true. The Seahawks are like the betting favorites to win the Super Bowl. Sam Darnold is a favorite to win Super Bowl MVP. Like, and that's for good reason. That's not the Patriots being bad. It's just the NFC was just a different animal this year. Something I want to ask you that I believe I've seen asked on Twitter. Does this 2025, early 2026, is this the best year in Seattle sports, even if the Seahawks lose in the Super Bowl?
Yes.
Or do they have to win the Super Bowl for this to be the best year in Seattle sports?
The only reason I'll say that they have to win the Super Bowl for it to be the best year is only because the Mariners barely missed making it to the World Series. Now, if the Mariners make it to the World Series and let's say they lose in the World Series, the Seahawks making it to the Super Bowl and losing in the Super Bowl still makes it the best year in Seattle sports history.
I want to specifically break down this Rams game because there were some things to point out, some good, some bad. What we're going to do, we're going to give a kind of like a highlight and a low light rather than doing the stars like we always do. But there's honestly a lot to go over in this game, and I think there's a lot of positives, frankly. This game was fantastic. It was close. It was not a belt-to-ass like the 49ers game, but I will say the Seahawks never felt outmatched. Even when we were down, even when the Rams had the ball in really tight situations, I never was like, oh God, like, here we go. It's game over. Like, I would be nervous. I would start to feel it a little bit, but every single time I'm saying, like, talking to myself in my van, just like, all right, boys, come on, let's get it together. I know you can do it. Let's get it done. Like, I had complete, utter faith in this team. And part of that, a large part of that, this game, falls on Sam freaking Darnold, dude. That guy, I do not think that you win this game without Sam Darnold. The defense did not put their best foot forward. They weren't atrocious by any means. Don't get me wrong. They still held the highest scoring offense to 27 points. But I do not think that this game is won without Sam Darnold. The run game wasn't the strongest point. Sam Darnold, he made it work. Got Cooper Kupp involved. Got Jake Bobo involved. Jackson, of course, JSN was involved. Like, just slinging the rock. Dude was a gunslinger in this game. And yeah, I absolutely 100% feel that if Sam Darnold did not play the way he played in this game, you would not have won that game. Let me give you some numbers real quick. All right. In this game, Sam Darnold, 36 attempts, 25 completions. That's a 69.4 completion rating. He had 346 yards, 3 touchdowns, averaged 9.6 yards per game, had that beautiful 51-yard bomb, 127.8 passer rating. Matt Stafford had a 127.6. By passer rating, Sam Darnold had the better game, and honestly, when you look at the box score, I would say Sam Darnold had the better game, and that's crazy to say against Matt Stafford because I'm not going to sit here and say that Matt Stafford isn't the best, or that Matt Stafford isn't better than Sam Darnold because, frankly, he is. But Sam Darnold outplayed him. Yes, Matt Stafford had some more yards. They had the same amount of touchdowns, but Stafford was 22 for 35. So technically, he was more efficient. He was getting it done, but he did not look like the better quarterback out there on the field. And again, like I said 4 times already, you do not win this football game if Sam Darnold is not your quarterback and Sam Darnold doesn't have I'm going to say probably one of his best games of his career, if not just at least this season. It was incredible.
Yeah, definitely. You don't win this game if nothing against Drew Lock, but I think if Drew Lock's in this game, I don't think we win. I don't think he has that same connection with this receiving core. Don't get me wrong, JSN would have probably made Drew Lock look fucking amazing because it's JSN and he's been amazing all season long, but JSN can only do so much.
Yeah, I mean, just comparing a couple other things here with this game, just pure numbers. Jackson Smith-Njigba, absolute dog. He was the Tom Brady let's fucking go player of the game, which I kind of love. I hate that I like Tom Brady as an announcer, but he's quickly turning into one of my favorite announcers in all of football. But JSN, he had 153 yards, 10 receptions, and a touchdown. Puka Nacua right there with him with 165 yards, 9 receptions, and a touchdown. Those are your 2 offensive player of the year candidates. I don't care who you are. Just an absolute incredible game. The offense, like I said, picked it up where the defense didn't have their best day. That's really, really, really comforting to see going into the Super Bowl. Matt, your name is Matt now, okay?
Oh, thank you.
Mitch, what do you feel when you think about this game? What were you feeling watching this game? What really stood out to you with this game?
I was nauseous the whole game. Fucking team was making me damn near throw up the entire damn game. Assholes. Mainly what I was thinking during this game was offense still doing their thing, looking amazing. But the other side of the ball, the defense, I was having issues with. They were the ones making me almost fucking throw up. Because, now I get it. They're playing against the number 1 offense. But they're also the number 1 defense playing against the number 1 offense. And they just didn't fully look like the number 1 defense. And they did well. They did do well. It's just they weren't playing like I thought they should.
Sounds like there were 2 sides of a coin, so let's get into our highlights and lowlights, and I'll let you, keep the mic. Let me know what you got. Who's your highlight? Who's your low light?
So my big highlight is going to be Sam Darnold and the receiving core as one, because one does not succeed without the other. Sam Darnold looked amazing, but he doesn't succeed without these amazing receivers. Same thing with these receivers. They looked amazing, but they don't look amazing without Sam Darnold getting them that ball. But so it's Sam Darnold and the receiving core together just looked absolutely amazing. Don't get me wrong, running game was great. They did what they could. But my big highlight is Sam Darnold with that receiving core, with JSN, Rashid Shaheed, Cooper Kupp.
Mm-hmm. That Rashid Shaheed, it wasn't a touchdown. It damn near could have been.
Oh, it should have been.
Taking the top off the Rams defense in one of the first plays of the game, that calmed my nerves so well. I still wasn't okay, we got this in the bag, but that calmed my nerves that nah, the offense is here to fucking play. They got Rashid Shaheed involved. They're here.
If Sam Darnold throws that ball ever so slightly further, Rashid Shaheed catches it, and he's gone. So, Sam Darnold, receiving core, that is my highlight. Richard, what is your highlight of this game?
Honestly, I considered doing the offense, and I think I might have had you not said it. But I think my highlight of this game is going to be Michael Dixon.
Oh, okay.
That punt to pin the Rams back, make that drive just immensely difficult. Because if we don't have the best punter in the league, the Rams have an opportunity to go down there. We saw how many yards they picked up in 2 plays right before the end of the game. The Rams very easily could have scored a touchdown if not for Michael Dixon's amazing punt. He did his job. He did exactly what he needed to do, and that's why he's the highest special teams player I think it's the highest paid punter, at least in franchise history. We have him for a reason, and I love him, and he's my highlight of this game, 100%. So, with that, I'll start with my low light. My low light in this game is going to be the defense. Now, this is a very soft low light. They weren't that bad. They still held the Rams to 27 points, which is honestly, I think, a respectable number to hold the number one offense into. Yes, they didn't look great in some points, but they looked amazing in other points. Like that play that Tariq Woolen where he got the taunting penalty, that play was just a fantastic play. Like there were great plays made by the defense. They did manage to sack Matt Stafford, which they hadn't done coming into this game for the last 2 or 3, or since 2023, I think. So there were absolutely some good defensive moments in this game, but they definitely, watching this game, you could tell that they were the weak of the different phases, the different levels of this game. It wasn't exactly what I would expect from the number one defense. It's what I would expect from a top 5 defense, but they just didn't look up to their standard. I'm not too worried about that going into the Patriots game. We'll obviously talk about that a little bit here in just a moment, but yeah, they were definitely the weak link of the game, but they were still great, just not as great as usual.
Yeah. Obviously, like my low light is Tariq Woolen, and again, mine is also kind of like a soft low light as well. Like
it's not like the beginning of the season where we were calling for this dude to get traded.
No. Like I'm only slightly upset with Tariq Woolen on the taunting thing, and it's only because he is a veteran. And that's a rookie mistake. Like you shouldn't make 100%. That play, especially since we had them in 4th and 12. Like if he doesn't taunt there, they don't score 27 points. I honestly don't believe that they score 27 points. That's why again,
a drive killer play right there.
It's a soft low light, and I'm sure you probably thought this is who I was going to name. This is why I also have words for the NFL as a fucking whole.
Oh,
these are grown-ass adults, and you have a taunting penalty. And I'm not even saying, like, I've hated the taunting penalty ever since they started it. I don't care who. Like, I would have been pissed if it was a Rams player that got the taunting play. Like, obviously, in the NFC Championship, I'm like, I'm glad it's there, but it's still fucking stupid. But either way, I think it is stupid no matter who it's calling, whether it's calling the Seahawks or the Rams in that situation. I think
it could be called on the Cleveland Browns, and I'll think it's bullshit.
The taunting penalty is the dumbest penalty ever. They are grown-ass adults, and you can't handle someone going like this to you? Really?
The fact that is a rule tells me that the people who have made that rule have never played a sport in their life, professional or otherwise. There's too much adrenaline, there's too much emotion in playing a sport to be PG 100% of the time. Fuck you. Frankly. No, I 100% agree with you on that.
The taunting penalty in the NFL, specifically, is stupid. You are grown-ass adults. Handle someone going like this a little bit to you. The problem with it is I do understand standing over a player and taunting him that way. I understand that being a penalty.
Levels to it.
That's why I think there should be a taunting penalty, but it should be to the extreme when a player is standing over another player or even laying on another player and saying some shit to him.
Yeah.
100% those should be penalties. But just going like this, come on.
Yeah. Well, back to the part of that has to do with Tariq Woolen. Yeah, you shouldn't be doing it, and I think he understands that, and I think that's all that really needs to be said. You know, he's a great player. He has changed my mind. From the beginning of this year, if you watched any of the early episodes, you know that like I wasn't the biggest Tariq Woolen fan. I felt like he was a liability, and he has 100% changed my mind. He's turned it around. I genuinely apologize if Reek somehow sees this someday. I'm sorry. I wasn't familiar with your game. You proved me wrong, and I'm on Team Reek. You know, he's a good dude, and he's a fantastic player. And yeah,
I mean,
just you should be able to talk your shit, but know your time and place. What do you say at this point? I mean, this team made the Super Bowl. Nobody had us making the Super Bowl. Here we are. Fuck you. Like, and yeah, let's go talk about that Super Bowl that we are so excited about.
You ready to move on and talk about this less stressful, shockingly game?
Yeah.
It's the Super Bowl, but I'm less stressed than I was at the championship.
Yeah. I'm going to throw some numbers at you, and then I think you're going to throw some numbers at me, and we'll give our keys to this game because there are some important things to pay attention to when going into this game for sure. Before we get into that, I have a question. So I texted you this question earlier this morning, and I didn't want to hear your answer then because I wanted to have a discussion about it on the podcast, and I wanted you to kind of sink and soak. So I asked you this morning, you were paying more attention to the Seahawks than I was when they went to Super Bowl 49. Do you feel more confident in this team than you did in the team in Super Bowl 49 in, 2014, whatever it was?
So, I've thought a lot about that question all day, too. Do I feel more confident in this team? No. Not more confident than I'm not saying I don't feel confident in this team. I 100% do. But no. And I think the reason being is, one, that team was going back to a Super Bowl. They had just won a Super Bowl the year prior, destroyed the Broncos going into it, and the Broncos were they were the top teams going against each other that year.
Yeah.
And so, and that was the number one offense that they were facing, and they destroyed them. So when we were going back, and the Patriots were nowhere near how good the Broncos were the year before, and we still had the Legion of Boom and everything, I was extremely confident we were going to win that game. We also had the number one running back in the league. We don't have that this year. So I'm not more confident in this team than I was in that team.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I wasn't as big of a Seahawks fan back then, just because I was younger too. I just didn't understand as much, and so it's hard for me to speak on my confidence then versus my confidence now. But I'm very confident in this team, 100%, and the numbers back that up. The numbers back up the confidence. When looking at these two teams against each other, we're going to go down points per game, passing yards per game, just like we would in a few episodes prior. The Seahawks are third in points per game with 28.4 points per game. The Patriots are second with 28.8. So they are extremely evenly matched in scoring points in general as a team. Looking at passing yards per game, the Seahawks are ninth with 239 passing yards per game, whereas the Patriots are fourth with 262.3 passing yards per game. Now, granted, the Patriots is a more pass-heavy offense. We do really try and get that run going, whereas the Patriots aren't really, at least not to my mind, known as a very rushing-heavy team, but I might be wrong there because looking at this next stat, rushing yards per game, the Seahawks are 11th with 123.3, and I do think that they would be higher ranked, like you said, if Kenneth Walker had been rushing this way the entire season. So I'd say when adjusted for postseason, they're probably fourth or fifth rushing yards per game.
Yeah.
I don't have the numbers to back that up. But the Patriots over the regular season were sixth in the league with 128.9 yards per game. So my bad, Patriots. I don't know what I'm talking about. Apparently y'all do run the ball, so run defense is going to be very important. Now, speaking of defense, total defensive sacks over the year, the Seahawks are ninth with 47. The Patriots are 26th with only 35 sacks. So it is going to be very important for our O-line to hold those blocks because you should be able to handle the 26th ranked defense, at least in terms of actual sacks. Obviously, this isn't counting pressures and things like that, but they're not the greatest as far as sacks. You should be able to manage that. And we have a good O-line. We've seen this. Anthony Bradford in the postseason has been incredible. I haven't complained about him once. It's been wonderful. But looking at total interceptions over the year, the Seahawks are 5th with 18. The Patriots are 21st for 10th. Now, or are 21st with 10. Now, I will say with this, I do know past the numbers a little bit. The Patriots do have a really good secondary. Christian Gonzalez is an excellent player. So they are a team that you need to be careful with. Sam Darnold, he kept it clean last week. It's going to be really important for him to keep it clean this week. And that leads me into my keys for this game. Sam Darnold, we need you to do exactly what you did this last week. But the defense needs to absolutely step it up as well. We need Sam Darnold to be at his best again, and we need the defense to be at their best. They can't play like they did last week. So in all honesty, my keys are really simple. Just do what you did and be better. Mitch, what do you look at with this game? What is it important to you? What do you think is going to win us this game versus the New England Patriots?
Honestly, I kind of had the same as far as the keys to the game. Pretty much the same as Sam Darnold. You did exactly what I said you needed to do, was keep the interceptions low, preferably 0, and you kept them to 0. Do that again. Please. Please just do that again. Defense. I need you to look like the number 1 defense. Not a top 5 defense. Number 1. You are the number 1 defense. I need you to look like it.
Yeah.
Those are my keys to the game. Keep it clean. Defense look better.
Mitch, throw me your numbers, and then, just throw me your numbers.
All right. So, really cool article. Yahoo Sports, of course, because that's who we use. They have 16 early numbers that define the Patriots-Seahawks matchup. There is no specific person that wrote this article. The person that they're crediting is just Yahoo Sports staff wrote this article. So, first number I have for you is 0. That is the number of wins quarterbacks aged 24 or younger have against Mike McDonald since he became the head coach of the Seahawks. Drake May is 23.
Good luck, Drake May.
1 is the number for Seattle's. John Schneider is the first general manager in NFL history to make multiple Super Bowls with the same franchise with a completely new roster and head coach.
Wow. That's John Schneider's executive of the year for a reason.
2. Drake May is the second quarterback in NFL history to defeat the top 3 scoring defenses from the regular season in the same postseason, joining Peyton Manning in the 2006 season.
That's some pretty damn good company. And then honestly, he can handle himself. He's a good quarterback, and he's going against another one of the top-ranked defenses.
3. This is the third Super Bowl between starting QBs picked in the top 5 of their respective drafts, as well as the first between QBs each picked 3rd overall, following Peyton Manning versus Cam Newton in Super Bowl 50 and Matthew Stafford versus Joe Burrow in Super Bowl 56.
Wow. So that does remind me that something that is important with the Super Bowl to keep in mind, Sam Darnold is the first of the 2018 draft class who had Baker Mayfield, Josh Allen, and Lamar Jackson to start in a Super Bowl. He's not the first to make it because he made it to the Super Bowl with the Niners, but this is the first time that any quarterback from the 2018 draft is starting a Super Bowl, and it's Sam fucking Darnold, dude.
4. This is the 4th Super Bowl between head coaches in their first or second season on the job, following Super Bowl 36, Bill Belichick's Patriots versus Mike Martz's Rams, Super Bowl 47, John Gruden's Buccaneers versus Bill Callahan's Raiders, and Super Bowl 43, Mike Tomlin's Steelers versus Ken Whisenhunt's Cardinals.
Ken Whisenhunt. Ugh, Jesus. The Cardinals in the Super Bowl. Ugh, Jesus. Yeah, I just like the fact that it's the Mike versus Mike show.
And then 5, Sam Darnold has played with 5 teams in his NFL career, the most for a quarterback making his first Super Bowl start since Atlanta's Chris Callender in the 1998 season.
Hey, sometimes the first one isn't the right one, and sometimes that goes all the way down to the 5th one.
Mind you, that was Super Bowl 6, apparently.
That's crazy. Wow.
And speaking of 6, number 6, this is the 6th time in Super Bowl history the game will pit 2 teams that missed the playoffs the previous season, following Super Bowls 3, Jets versus Colts, Super Bowl 16, 49ers versus Bengals, and Super Bowl 34, Rams versus Titans, and Super Bowl 35, Ravens versus Giants, and Super Bowl 38, Patriots versus Panthers.
Huh. I do love the fact that I do love Super Bowls where they didn't make it and they're here. So hell yeah, love to see that. Mitch is struggling with Roman numerals.
Shut up. 7. The Patriots are in search of their 7th Super Bowl title, which would break a tie with the Steelers for most by a single franchise all time. Tom Brady, of course, has 7 on his own with the Patriots and Buccaneers.
Yeah. That if it was the Patriots going versus anybody else, I think I might be rooting for the Patriots because I do think it would be cool to see that tie get broken. But I'm sorry, Patriots, you guys are going to have to wait till next year.
Number 8. This postseason has already featured 8 games decided by 4 points or fewer, breaking the previous playoff record of 6, which happened in both 2006 and 2021.
Jesus. And 2 of those, a quarter of those games, were the Seahawks. Ugh.
All right, so now I went from 0 to 8. So these next numbers are going to sound a little weird when I say them, because it's not like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the next number I have for you is 12. This is the Patriots' 12th Super Bowl appearance, extending their own NFL record. 4 teams, Cowboys, Steelers, 49ers, and Broncos, are tied for second at 8.
I think the most important 12 here, though, is 12th man, God damn it, and 12th inning podcast.
Right? Next number I have for you is 17. The Seahawks are looking to become the 17th NFL franchise with multiple Super Bowl titles. The Eagles were the most recent team to accomplish the feat last season.
Yeah. Oh, God, I hope so. I can't even allow myself to think about what it's going to be like if we win the Super Bowl.
Next number is 17.2. The combined points allowed by both the Seahawks and Patriots defenses this season, including playoffs, the fewest on average in the league.
It's going to be a defensive slugfest.
Next number is 20. This is the number of giveaways Sam Darnold committed during the regular season, the most in the regular season. The last QB to lead the NFL in giveaways and make the Super Bowl? Can you guess?
What was that, Eli Manning?
Yeah, Eli Manning in 2007 when his Giants beat the Patriots to win the title. Next number I have for you is 26. The total number of points the Patriots have allowed in 3 games this postseason reaching the Super Bowl, the fewest since the 2000 Ravens allowed just 16 in their first 3 playoff games.
And the Seahawks would have had a similar number if they didn't allow 27 in this game, because up to this point, well, no, actually it'll be close, because they've only played 2 games. Yeah, so the Seahawks are better because they've only played 2 games. The Patriots have played 3, so.
All right, so second to last number I have for you is 35. That's how many days older that Drake May will be than Dan Marino was when he started Super Bowl. When he started his Super Bowl, Marino is still the youngest starting quarterback in Super Bowl history when he was 23 years and 127 days old. Drake May will be 23 years and 162 days old.
Damn. Yeah, that's crazy.
And the final number I have for you, 416. The total number of regular season games played by Patriots players in their first season with the team, the most by far of any team to make the Super Bowl that same year. The 2021 Bengals held the previous record of 327.
Huh. Interesting. I don't really have much else to say to that one. That's just a neat little fact. Well, how about this? How about I give us one more number? 60. Super Bowl 60 will be the Super Bowl that the Seahawks win to exercise all the demons versus the Patriots to solidify themselves as one of the greatest teams in Seahawks history if they aren't already solidified now, and for Sam Darnold to prove all the haters wrong, all the doubters wrong, exercise those ghosts, which I already think he has, but just a little cherry on top. We're going to the Super Bowl, guys. Like, just let that sink in for a minute.
The Revenge Bowl.
We haven't seen this since 2015. We're going to the Super Bowl, and I think we're going to win it. I'm not going to sit here and say that this is going to be a cakewalk. This is absolutely not going to be a cakewalk. The Patriots are going to the Super Bowl for a reason, but I think the Seahawks are the better team, and I think Super Bowl number 2 is on the way. It should be Super Bowl number 3. But you know what? We finally got number 2.
I mean,
I think we got it.
In all honesty, it should be Super Bowl number 4.
Yeah.
Robbed from the first one, robbed from the third one.
Yep.
Time to win the 4th. I don't really have anything more than what you've said. Like you said last episode and you said in this episode, the NFC is just the better conference, honestly. And I'm not even saying just the NFC West. Like, yes, NFC West is NFC best, but the NFC as a whole was just better than the AFC this year. But that is all I have. That seems to be all you have. So, Richard, what do you got on the Mariners?
Dude, there's nothing going on. I will say, like, I'm excited. We're about a month away from spring training, and I think I mentioned it last week, but I'll mention it again this week. Of like, we have some exciting stuff planned, but there's just nothing really going on. I'm missing baseball, but for right now, I got one game I'm focusing on, and that is the Super Bowl. Seahawks versus Patriots. It's coming, baby. Thank you guys so much for watching another episode of the 12th Inning Podcast. As always, I've been Rich. This is my buddy Mitch, and Seahawks going to the Super Bowl, baby. If you could do all the podcasty things, the liking, the commenting, and all of that, I've gotten some love on the last few episodes, and it's really cool. Like we always say, we're not here to like be like, oh, we're getting a bunch of views. It's just we want people to talk to. We want a community. We want, all Seattle sports. Seattle sports has really come together, and we just want to have our own little corner of that. So if talking Seattle sports, hockey, ball, whatever, like if that sounds good to you, this is the place to be. But that is going to do it for us here. Like we always say here at the 12th Inning Podcast, even with nothing going on in the offseason, Trident's up. Go Mariners.
12 is 1. Go Hawks.
Super Bowl!